Great. So for those of you that are new to the group, my name is Stacey Lauren, and I'm the founder of the Do the Thing community. And I'm so excited because we are having a guest come on and talk to us about energy management, and then also really being able to do things that light us up. And so let me just make sure you guys can see me while I am here. 1 second. Let's see here. Hope you guys are doing good. For anyone that's seeing this on recording, hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Everyone, we are live with Jamie, founder of LUXE. Okay, I'm not going to be able to say that whole thing. Jamie, talking about energy management, energy and igniting your soul. We're going to also be talking about igniting your soul. So, hi, Mary Ellen. While I'm on, and I wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't seen it yet, we have the bucket list challenge starting tomorrow, and it's actually not going to be in this group. It's going to be in the Do the Thing challenge group. So if you guys haven't joined that group yet and you want to do the bucket list, make sure that you join the group. It's under dothethingcommunity.com, and it's going to be 14 days where we'll be able to basically do dares each day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I have a few other things planned in this group once that's done. So I'm excited to update you about that as well. And I'm seeing Jamie in the green room, but I don't see your video. Let me see how you're doing. 1 second here. So yeah, let me know how you guys are doing, and we can start with that. Let's see your video. Okay, so we'll see how that's gonna go. And then let me see. Hi, Michelle. So good to see you guys. So how is your weather over there? I'm hearing so many things about weather right now. I was curious if you're getting hit like a lot of the other areas. Do you guys have snow where you are? Is it sunny? I'm in San Diego, so I'm slightly, what's the word? Spoiled. So I don't know how it's going there, but let me check on her. No, we're still waiting. Okay, so while we're waiting, I'm going to also let you guys know, I decided once the bucket list challenge is over, so I hope you'll join that, but regardless if you do or not, I'm going to do another Zoom. Do you guys remember how fun that Zoom was when we did a dare each other Zoom, and so many of you did different dares for each other. So I thought that would be really fun if we did a Zoom where we got to just talk about it. And I had an idea for one dare specifically, so I'll be updating you about that as we get closer to the timing. But the bucket list challenge ends on the 28th, so it'll be sometime right after that. And let me see. I'm going to add her on, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. Hi.
Hi. I cannot get my camera to work. Hold on just a second. I'm
Really?
trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually said allow camera to work, and I popped off.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Okay. I'll give you a few more minutes, and then if not, we could bring you on without camera. So.
Okay.
Okay. So let me check in with you guys. Let's see. Okay, good. Oh, it's snowing in Maine, Stacey? Yeah. And then windy in South Louisiana. Let me find you guys on a better screen. I'm just realizing I can't see everybody's comments. Oh, you know what? I know why, because I'm in Restream. It's different. Okay, I'm going to see you here. Okay, in Ohio, it's raining. Oh my gosh. The rain, big time. Man, rainy. Yeah, hopefully you guys are finding ways to still just keep yourself motivated. I'm curious how that's been going for you, because sometimes it's hard when the weather is bad to really be able to stay in momentum. So, and to be able to do the things that you want. And while we're waiting for Jamie, just some technical issues, I'll talk to you guys and see how things are. So please share with me what goals you have for this year. We're now in 2024. Are you guys interested in me scheduling another dating challenge? Is there anything specific that you're wanting to see in the group while we're in between challenges right now? I do have another dating challenge I'm planning sometime this quarter, so you will be seeing that, but would love to hear if you have any other thoughts for that. And let me just say hi to Jamie really quick. I don't see her camera yet, so we might just play him for a minute here. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, this is technicalities. You know how it goes. No,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
frustrated. I said to allow access, but it's not allowing access this time
Yeah.
around.
Are you in Chrome?
No, should I hop off and do Chrome?
Yes.
Let me
Yeah. Go
try.
back to
Okay.
Chrome. Yeah. Okay.
All
Thanks.
right, I'll be back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's see. I saw Joyce here. Hi, Joyce. Oh, Norma's here. Okay. Awesome. And then just to feel better, you love the dating challenges. Great. And then, amazing. Okay, good. Yeah. So please let me know, like, well, first of all, who is joining the bucket list challenge? Who is going to be in that? We're starting tomorrow. It's at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I have a lot of amazing guests during that time. So even if you guys don't join, I'm going to just kind of show you really quick what's happening because we have so many things happening during it. Let me actually just share my screen and show you what is going on. Oops. Okay, so we have here, yes. Okay, still need to add, Vicky Poole's going to be doing a session on her own Zoom. I'll have to add her session, but we have, we're going to have, let's see, we have Sean Kelly, and he's the founder of Do the Big Dream. He's actually been on actually gotten his himself on like TV shows. When he was 40, he basically decided that he wanted to be on TV. And so then he basically set on this path to be on TV. And since then, he's been doing really amazing things. And so I'm really excited to hear his story. And so I thought he was perfect to bring on during the bucket list challenge. Again, this is in the Do the Thing community. Actually, you know what? These events I'm going to be putting in both groups. It's just the actual bucket list challenge that will be in the challenge group. And then we have Megan Snedden, who is my friend. You guys have probably met her before. She's the one that I did comedy with for the first time. And she's going to Kilimanjaro in February. So we're going to be talking about that. And I thought it was really interesting when I talked to her because I had never even considered going. And now that's on my bucket list. And then I feel like I have another one. Oh, yeah. And then I have Sandy, Missouri. Basically, she's going to help you guys basically write your book if you want to write a book. And so anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that you'll join us for that. Oh, yay. I see Jamie. Okay. And we're bringing you on. Awesome. Hey.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hey. And now we've got proof in what you're teaching because you stayed calm through it all, managed your energy. Your reaction to tech is like perfect because that's so easy to go in a tailspin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know
Yeah.
if anybody else has like tech anxiety sometimes because it's like always the time that you're trying to do something live or something that things go askew. Anybody in the chat, like, can you feel me right now?
Yeah, exactly. Well, why don't we start off? I'd love to so Jamie and I met recently. We were at an event in Texas. We just did a podcast interview yesterday, and she has an event that she's planning for, is it next week?
Yep.
Next week. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't you just come on? I could mention the bucket list to the group, remind you guys that's coming tomorrow. We could talk about your event that you've got going, and then also help in terms of see what you guys are looking for today regarding like energy and things like that. Once you hear Jamie kind of talk about her background, you'll immediately connect because the moments that like the words that like stand out for me that are just so aligned with like where we are right now is like basically how your divorce has now like been the start of your story, you know, and it's like reshaping you into like who you're meant to be was really what I got from our conversation yesterday. And like
Sure.
how much like you've been able to now tap into that. I turned off sorry, I'm going to turn my alerts. I turned them off when okay, I'm good. But yeah, so how much you were able to tap into that and really just like rediscover yourself. And I'd love you just to kind of share just for a few minutes about that. And then we'll check in with you guys. And once you hear what she teaches, we can kind of see what your questions are and then basically go from there.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Well, hi everybody. I'm so excited to be here. And I just want to honor Stacey and say thank you for having me, trusting me with your community. And what I have to say about Stacey is y'all know this, but I love this girl because she like walks the talk. Like when we talk about, she and I have talked several times, and when we talk about doing something, she's like, okay, let's just do it tomorrow. And then like she just does it. Like right away. So I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm sure you've witnessed it. I'm witnessing her and grateful for her because I think that that is such a crucial thing. We continue to, try to make it perfect and try to do everything just right and make sure everything's in alignment before we start. And it's just start, right? So,
Yeah.
but I digress. I just wanted to honor you because I have gotten so much just being in your presence too.
Thank you.
So some of you, I know some of you have been divorced, not everybody probably, but for me, that is truly where my story like began and how I created my signature programs and even, what's led to today. So in 2011 is really when I started going through my divorce. And at the time, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was homeschooling my kids, hadn't had a job in like 11 years because I was home with my kids and raising them. And that was important to me. And then all of a sudden, I found myself in this divorce. And like you could have found me laying in the middle of my closet. I don't know if anybody y'all been there. You're just ground deep in your tears and you're like breathing in pain because you're like, I am so scared. I have no idea what's going to happen now. I don't know how I'm going to provide for my 3 children that were 6, 8, and 10 at the time. I couldn't even get a credit card because I hadn't been working. And so I didn't have any credit history. So I literally had to have my dad co-sign on a car for me. He had to get a credit card that I could use because I couldn't get one. And so, I mean, I literally was going through all of the life changes and trying to raise my kids and also was in so much fear. I was so reactionary. And mostly because I didn't know. I didn't know the outcome. I had no idea how I was going to do this, how I was going to provide. And I don't know if any of you have been there. If you've ever been in any if you can even identify with any of this, just say yes in the chat. Because if you identify with any piece of being fearful, of not knowing what the outcome is, of being reactive because you're so stressed, so filled with anxiety. And so that's how I learned some of the tools I teach. So it's because of that. And what I want to encourage you is if you are in that situation, or if you feel super anxious or in crisis or have a major life occurrence going on right now, I just want to encourage you because it can be a blessing if we allow it. If you allow it to be an opportunity, because what happens is when we are in those moments of huge diverse change and huge crisis and stress, we can tap into the insides of us that we didn't even know were there. Because what happens is we have all this reactivity, we self-sabotage, we have all of these things that come out of us that we're like, where did that come from? Right? Why did I react that way? Why did that thing trigger me? And instead of just moving on with life, if we take a moment and just be still and aware and have grace for ourselves first, because it's not going to help us to beat ourselves up. And then take a moment to witness, okay, what was it about that triggered me? Or what was it from my past that created this wound inside of me that's unhealed? Because it's feedback and information that we can use and heal and clear, and then it propels us forward in life when we can clear those wounds and we can clear those reactionary ways. And so that's really, I went through the tough part of it, of learning the hard way. I don't know if any of y'all have learned the hard way. If you have, let me know, because I think I did it the really hard way. It took years to learn. But once we fast forward to now I've built an entire program around the resources, the tools, the things I really learned internally and from my experience as far as how to handle those things, how to better ourselves, and first of all, manage our energy. Because when our energy is decreased, and we'll talk a little bit about that today, when we're not managing the energy in our lives, what extracts energy from us and what gives energy to us, when we're not guiding that process, we're less than. We can't be at the top of our game and solving problems, which is exactly what we need to do, right? When we're in crisis, we need to be able to solve problems quicker. We need to be more productive, more creative. We need to have a higher level mindset, but we can't do that if we have no energy, if we've depleted our body, our mind. And so that's where the energy management piece truly came. And then secondarily, like when we're not igniting our soul and aligning with who we truly are, again, we don't have that energy. That's a really crucial thing to know, that when we ignite our energy and do the things that really light us up inside and align more with who we are, then we can actually fast track things because we have more to give. And so when we put those two together, there's such strong things that can really take us forward in life. It doesn't matter if you're in crisis or not in crisis, it can move you forward so much faster in a more propelled way, where you feel amazing, where you have joy, where you have energy. So that's just a little piece of kind of where I came from. Happy to answer any questions on that as well.
Yeah, I just think it's so and Norma said it. I saw Norma's comment. She's like, did I show you where the chat is? Because we like,
But it's not scrolling, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm at the
no,
bottom.
we literally did this yesterday. And so this is your first time on Restream too, right?
Yeah, sorry, I'm new, y'all.
No, it's really good because I'm like realizing I don't even think I even showed you how the chat works. There's like a chat button, and then you could scroll it down if you want. Otherwise, I'll read the comments. But yeah, Norma said common theme, because like that's what happens a lot, right? Like when we get divorced, or something, like it's the feather, the brick, or the semi truck, right? There's something, and I mean, I want to have the feather and make the change. I don't want to have the semi truck, but sometimes it takes the semi truck, and that's when the change happens, right? And it's amazing when you can take something like that and then turn it into this beautiful thing where you're able to then realize like what you can really do with your life, right? Because I mean, a lot of times like we wake up and we're like, what actually happened? I don't even know who I am anymore.
For sure, you lose your identity in those processes so many times, or you're in the situation because you lost your identity many
Mhm.
times. And so when we lose our identity, we actually make different decisions than we would normally, right? We
Mhm.
make different decisions that don't align with our core values, our priorities, those kinds of things. And what I want to say, what you just mentioned, Stacey, is when we continue to say no to learning the lesson, I'm just going to tell y'all, it comes back around. And many times it's more like two semi trucks, right? So the faster we choose to just take a moment and have that awareness,
Yeah.
the faster we can move through it. But if we don't feel the feelings, first of all, if we don't feel the hard feelings, we won't feel the good feelings either. But also, it helps us to clear. Like, we have to feel
Yeah,
it.
I want to make sure they heard that too, because like that's such an important, and I remember you saying that on the podcast interview yesterday. It's the contrast, right? It's like when you're in that like deep kind of like, whether it's depressive state or like angry state or upset state or whatever that is, it's
Or
like that's great to
bullshit,
feel that way. And yeah,
or
because
like all the things.
yeah, because then the opposite of that, you also can feel excited and alive and all of that. And you have to have both in order to be able to feel the other.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just get numb because you're trying to shut down the bad stuff. You're trying to shut down the feelings of fear, the feelings of guilt, the feelings of I'm not enough, the feelings of I'm too much, right? You're trying to shut those down, but in the meantime, you become numb, overstimulated, stressed, and anxious. Like, and none of that serves you to get out of where you're at, to elevate you out of those places. What serves you is resetting your mindset and clearing a lot of those things that have been haunting you from the past, but they're starting. What happens is they get unearthed during crisis, during all of these things. And when we take those times to sit and be and allow space, you
Yeah.
have to allow space, right? To get the feedback, to feel the feelings, to process through and reflect, then we can move further, faster
Yeah.
versus cycle back around, right, Stacey? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking at Norma's comment. She said, yes, it's like we become more alive after divorce. The thing that's coming up to me with that, Norma, when I see that is like, I wish somebody would have told me that when I got divorced, like let me be like upset and, and all the stuff that I felt, but like I felt like I didn't have a support system, during that time. And I think that's why I don't know if you went through something like that, but I feel like that's why I'm so passionate about like helping people like, you know,
Yeah.
be able to do what you're doing too, right? Like what we're doing where you're able to like impact someone in a way. And so anyway, I just think about that. Like all of you guys that have like gone through so much growth, since whatever happened, whatever brought you to this point,
Yeah.
and like what you can actually, just by someone hearing you say something can just change everything.
Mm.
I just think it's really amazing.
It is. It's amazing. And I would also encourage us, like women and men, like, because
Mhm.
is this both women and men in here?
Both, but it's we have like well, Mike Hogan is our yeah, Mike Hogan, our president. Do the
Oh
thing.
my,
Yeah.
we're in a good place.
We have like 15% men. The problem is when the guys come in the group, they try to hit on people, so then they get kicked out, and so it's it makes it a little harder
Yeah,
but we do love the guys that are here. Yeah.
but yeah, so like when we as women, and I'll talk a little bit about this more, is that first of all, I want to acknowledge Stacey for creating a community that's safe for you to be in, because that's so significant. The people that we're around, and I know you all know this, but the people that we're around, the things that we allow in our life truly are gonna take us where we want to go, or take us where we don't want to go, right? And so when we surround ourselves with positive people that want to do better, that want to grow, that encourage one another so that we rise together, when you have that, you feel empowered, you feel like you can do it. When you have people that are tugging on you or allowing you, and I'm going to say this kindly, allowing you to stay in your victim mentality or commiserating with you because it makes you both feel better, that's not going to do us any good.
Mhm.
That's just not going to, like, I remember having, like, I had to, I'm trying to say how to say this best. I decided to actually start an entire women's group, an organization that really helped women rise above and inspire one another, really connect with one another on a heart level where we could love each other exactly where we were, but also we called each other out.
Hmm.
And that's so important. And so I purposely did that because I had some people that were still in my life and they were great people. Please don't hear me that anything was wrong, but they were commiserating with me because they were comfortable in where they were in life and they were miserable. And so it was fun for them. It was better for them. It was more comfortable for them to keep doing the same thing. And for me, I was like, no, I want more. Like, I know I have more in me. I know that I want to live a different life. I want to, even if it's hard, I want to do the hard thing to get to the person that I really want to be, the person I know I really am.
Yeah, and I think sometimes too, it's because you change so much after divorce or if you've been widowed, and even if you empty nest, which is a lot of the people in this group, and it's like that
Mhm.
your friends change. That it just, I mean, I made mostly new friends after mine, and so I think it's good to be able to like recognize that. So then you're not like
Sure.
you're like more open. Sorry, I remembered why I was bringing up that comment, what Norma was saying. It was because what you said in the interview yesterday, that's what stuck out. And I forgot what my point was with it. My point was what you said yesterday was like, once you've freed yourself, you could like free other people. Can you share that? Do you remember what you said? Yeah.
So, ladies, gentlemen, but ladies,
He's here. Yeah, we got to talk. I didn't see Mike yet, but
let's,
he
let's
can
chat. Here's
see.
the thing that I realized 2 years ago, 2022. You know how we always hear wounded people wound people? Who has heard that? Say yes in the chat. Wounded people wound people. We all know that one. What I learned in 2022 from self discovery and from choosing something different is free women, free women. So as we become free and rise, we give other women permission to rise as well. Instead of, this is something I'm so passionate about this year, is really helping women to stop playing small, to stop sliding under the radar. We know, even if you're a driven, high achieving woman, I can guarantee that probably 95% of those women are still playing small or sliding under the radar in some area. Because from past experience, we have experiences that were wounds, right? We learned to not make too much of a noise. We learned that judgment and criticism were not good, we would feel attacked. We learned that being too much, people would have an opinion about. Being not enough, right? People would have an opinion about. And even just being misunderstood. And these are some of the things that hold us back as women. And I want us to all be like, you know what? I'm done with that. I am done playing small. I am done sliding under the radar. I have more to give. God created me with something inside of me that needs to be heard. And I know, Stacey, you have, is it Find Your Voice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Find Your Voice. So it needs to be heard, ladies. I am guaranteeing you, you have something more to say. I don't care what level of life you're in, you have more to say. And sometimes we even hold back because we don't want to make somebody else feel less than. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but we want to make sure that nobody else feels less than around us. Here's what I want to say about that. God didn't create you to be less than for somebody else. I want that to sink in. He created you with all these beautiful, extraordinary gifts, and you were meant to unwrap them. You were meant to play with them, have fun with them, explore them, be really big and seen with them. And what you're doing for this other woman that you're trying to protect and that you don't want to make her feel bad, you're actually doing a disservice, because as you rise, she can choose to rise with you, and she sees that freedom that you have found and that empowerment, and she can choose it. If she's not ready and she's going to criticize you and she's going to be in victim mentality, then what I would say to that is she's not ready, and it's her journey. And we're doing a disservice of trying to keep her protected, because the more we protect her, the less likely she is to step out in her own voice. And so I'm so passionate because, ladies, let's be unapologetically bold and try new things. It means you're going to fail, and that's okay. Right? And that's what I love about the do the thing challenge, is because it's okay. It's okay as you're dating to fail and not do everything right? It's okay, because what we do is we speed up our process. Can anybody say speed up my process? Like, amen, I want to speed up my process, right? But
Yes.
that's
What do you think? What do you think is like the best way for that? Like what you mentioned, like learning strategies and things like that. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. Like what would be some things that they could do? Like let's say starting tonight. We're at 7:30 for some of you guys, 4:30 for some of you. Like what would be something we could do tonight?
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with the two things that we were talking about, at least right now, unless we have
Yeah,
specific questions. So the
yeah.
two things, because I came up with just a few things for you ladies. So instead of 20, right? The
Mhm.
20 overwhelms us. We don't need 20. We need a few to focus on. And so as far as soul igniters, what's going to ignite your soul? Here are three things I want you ladies to start to do to access more of your soul and more of that ignition for 2024. Number one, connections. And what I mean connections is like the people that you're around, those rich connections that light you up. Find more places that you can meet with those people, that you can draw them into your space, right? Environments, connection with your environment. What environments inspire you, excite you, make you feel more creative? Spend more time there. And
Yeah.
then,
Oh, I'd love to hear what you guys think with that, with environments. Like, where do you go? I love this because I feel like it's so easy to fall into just like, I mean, I want to say depression, but that feels too deep. But like, I mean, for me, sometimes that was it, right? And like, you want to like sit in the hole. But then when you can like get out and go somewhere, like for me, it could be if I go ride my bike, that's going to like immediately change my, you know, mood. And I'm just curious my groups, thank you. But yeah, if there's any other place, just so like, especially where you guys can be out, I'd love to hear, because the reason why this is important to answer this question, as you guys know, you're in, so Jamie, one of the do the thing formula pieces is my people. And so my people is when you can be around people that like have a common interest. And so it's kind of what you're speaking about too. But the nice thing is when you know where you can go when you get like nourished, and like you guys are able to share that, then all of a sudden that's going to give each of you ideas to basically be able to do it too. And that's what I've noticed the most. So yeah, it's amazing. Okay, here's one. Grand Funk Railroad concert at Foxwoods. That's so cool.
I love that. Really. And
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be like a Facebook group. Like, environment do you prefer nature versus inside? Do you prefer natural light versus fluorescent light? What feels good to you and helps you feel more like yourself and more creative? And
Yeah.
so connection is, first of all, to the people around you, who lights you up, spend more time with them. It's that simple, right? We don't need to make it hard. Spend less time with the people that don't light you up and that stress you out, and more time with the people that do light you up. Environments, find those environments that
Yeah. Oh, I love this. Hand dancing. It's like salsa or ballroom. I feel like you need to send a video of that.
I love dance.
Oh, Anne Marie. Yes. I want to see a video. You have to send a video. And then, someone's asking, Jamie, can we post the question you just asked about 2024?
What? I don't know what question I
I
have.
know, I can't remember. Can you
Tell me what it is and I'll
remind us? Yeah, remind us. And then, I joined a book club at the Bark Bar. I love that. Oh my gosh, is that the thing with the dogs? I don't think we have one of those here. I love that. That's so good.
That's amazing.
Oh, awesome. It's hard because I'm looking on the thing and then I have to go back, but I'm like, I'm good.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, back porch with my wind chimes. Yeah, that's good. I feel like that is really cool because like when you have a space in your house too, because I mentioned being around people, but you're right. Who was that? Sorry. Back porch. Oh, Bridget. Yeah. So if you can think of where that is, where you live, so then you always know you have this like safe space to go no matter what. And it's a pattern interrupt, right?
Yep.
So you're like literally able to like change where you are. Cause I mean, I've done that where I'm like stuck and I'm like, whatever I'm doing. And then if I can just like get out, then I'm feeling a lot better.
For sure. Yeah.
So, okay. And what was the third one? Sorry. I just wanted to make
sure. No, it's all good. So and then the other thing I would say is, what experiences do you know light you up? Do more of those. So that was for connection. Okay. We do want to do just two quick. So that was all just connection when you're connecting with those experiences. The other two I want to provide are new experiences. And I think that's one of the big things in this group is new experiences are phenomenal at, right, instigating new feelings. They're perfect at helping us see new things that we didn't know about ourselves. They, like your pattern interrupt, they interrupt what's normal and comfortable for you. So you're actually more available for more opportunities and more new experiences, right? So new experiences is the second one. And then stop doing the things that are frustrating you. Like that's as simple as it gets. Because what happens is when we're super frustrated or angry, usually it's because something is out of alignment with us.
Yeah. So what would that be?
Well, okay, I just quit my job because it was out of alignment with me. Stacey knows this. Not everybody. I haven't really announced it on social, but I 8 years.
You've announced it here.
So you're the first to know, really.
Congratulations.
My work people. My job of 8 years, I quit my W-2 because it was finally just out of alignment with me, and I was getting frustrated. I was not being heard. I was not being seen. But the reality was, it was time.
Yeah.
Right? It was time for me because Luxe every day is truly my passion in my life. And it's what I've filled my days with. It's what I love. It's women, right? It's like really empowering them. And so I quit my job because I was like, you know what? I'm just done. And I know it, like it's time. So when you feel that frustration, that anger, not being heard or whatever it is, assess, take a moment and again, find space and be like, why is this creating frustration? Because I can almost guarantee maybe something about that person, about that environment is out of alignment with you anymore, right? It's just not you. Maybe you have risen. And here's something that happens, ladies, is as we rise, our identity sometimes has to catch up with us.
It's true.
It does. Sometimes your identity has to catch up with how fast you're moving. Or as you rise, the things you're already doing are no longer in alignment with you because you're so much further up here. And so like with my job, I was just a different person with different skills that I needed to express and live into more. And so I was like, you know what? I feel complete.
I was trying to reply to Mary Ellen. Hold on, and then it didn't
Talk,
work.
now
I
I'm
was
gonna go back to
I was
comments because
down here.
I wanna
Yes,
talk and
see?
not like I wanna focus, otherwise I'm
Yeah,
ADD.
no, you're good. Yes, no, I was, like, trying to reply so I didn't interrupt your talking, and then my voice started, but anyway, yes, it's being recorded to watch it later. No worries. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that was my point on that is when that's
Yeah.
how you know a lot of times if you're in a, out of alignment. I remember even like a client that I had last year, there was this level of frustration, and the client, we had just grown different directions, and she, me having her as like me being her coach was just out of alignment for, and
Mhm.
it wasn't bad or good. It wasn't, it was just like, it was time for us to go our separate ways. And we just have to realize that it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be a good, positive thing because you're ready to go to your next level.
Yeah, okay, I would love to ask you guys, what are you gonna let go of this year?
Yeah.
Question, Jamie. What is not serving you? What are you doing that you no longer
Please
want
put
to
it in the
do?
chat. I want to see this. Come on.
Yeah, I would love to live. What's it? Okay, so for you, it's your job that was done,
Yeah.
right? What else would you give another one? And I'll think of one too. What am I
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, my client, it was time to let her go because that was a
gonna?
frustrating
Yeah.
piece. It may be, maybe it's a habit that you're
Mhm.
doing, and maybe it used to serve you, but it doesn't any longer, right? What's a habit that's
So
holding
this
you back?
reminds me, so Sally, so she was in, she did one of the Find Your Voice challenge actually, and she was talking about how her husband used to watch football, and when they got divorced, she still was watching football, and then all of a sudden she like realized
Yeah.
that she was watching football but didn't like it. She only watched it because her husband watched it, but it was so conditioned. And so anyway, I guess I'm saying that because let's think about why can I got to think about this. So what can I let go of?
So habits, and I love what I can't see your names. I'm sorry. Just I think because I'm not friends with them. Is that why? It just says Facebook.
No, I'm going back and forth. That's why. Yeah. And when you're in Facebook Live, then you can see names, but
I
otherwise,
didn't draw
like,
attention to this one. It said I did not. I I did that. Oh, I did that. Got myself fired because I couldn't quit, but I stopped working 9 9 so 4. See, and this is what happens: is we force ourselves to stay in these habits, these situations with these people. We force ourselves. Then all of a sudden, we get irritated and we create this resistance, this irritation, right? Almost on purpose, but it's not because it's subconscious because we really don't want to be there anymore. It really doesn't serve us anymore, but we're afraid. So many times we're afraid to do the thing we know we're supposed to do. Let go of the thing we know we're supposed to let go of, right?
yeah. Okay. I'm loving this one. I'd love to hear you talk about this. Quitting is not an option for many.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. So for me, 8 years ago, quitting wasn't an option,
Mm,
right?
mm-hmm.
So, but here's what I would also say is there's always, always, always other solutions. There's always, always, always options. It's never you can't do something. It's you're
Mm-hmm.
choosing to stay there. And is there something more that you can begin to pursue on the side? Or is there a different route you can take where you are working that would make you happier, right? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you switch positions within the company. Maybe you change how you're doing things. Like there's always options to help us realign with more of who we are. And sometimes that is, literally letting go. But if we can't, what can we do that would help us align better, that would fill us back up, that would, right? Like there's always options. It's just opening our mind to the opportunities. Because I couldn't quit 8 years ago, right? And so, but I started my passion, and I've been doing LUXE since 2019. And I've built an online program. I've built a membership. I've built different things. But it was slow, but I
Mm-hmm.
still got to do it. Right. And then I got to the point where now it's finally in alignment to do it completely without my W-2. But I didn't get there right away. But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't make different choices right now. Like, what would be some choices? What are some options or opportunities you can open up to?
Yeah, I think that goes back now to the time to ignite your soul,
Mm.
in terms of, you said it earlier, too. I can't read my handwriting. But anyway, basically, the igniting and the soul, those two words I love. So, how do you tap into that? What's your strategy for like being able to really just ignite your soul?
I think one of the biggest things, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to kind of bring it all together. One of the biggest things is two things. First of all, keep centered in yourself. So sometimes that takes, like, in the morning, do things that center you and who you are and how you want to feel and who you want to be. The first thing is, like, center yourself so that you know and you can recognize what is in alignment and what's out of alignment. When we are just going so fast, and we can talk a little bit about this in energy management piece, when we're going so fast, and as women, we're like, oh, I don't have time for that, right? I can't take care of myself. I don't have time. Everybody else needs me. Really? I get it, because I was a single mom with 3 kids, a full-time job, like all the things. I get that feeling. But what
Mm-hmm.
I can also tell you is when we don't take time to take care of ourselves and stay centered in who we are reactive. We aren't a great problem solver. Right? We're not aligned. We don't know what aligns with us. And so everybody else is getting pieces of us versus all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Do take those times to fill us back up, to do the things we know we need to do. We can share so much more with the world, with the people around us, and we can start to make new changes for our own life that will even fill us up even more. It's like a perpetual cycle that as we get centered in who we are, then we actually become more of who we are. Like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I love this question. Someone's just asking any ideas for how to feng shui a place and a space. And I love that just idea. I don't actually know. I don't know if you do, but but the thing that I'm like being an expert on in my head already from like, oh, that would be fun. But what I do know, and it's related to what you're saying, it's like, I love that thought that shows that you're opening up this like space for that because like if we could be more mindful, of like our space and where we are and like treat us like we're the queen, king, whatever, and like really honor that space. Like I've been working. So Vicky Poole one of the community members. She does hypnosis, and I've been working with her recently. And one of the things she did with me was because I was mindless eating. They know this, but just so you know, it was like mindless, so it helped me with that. And it was like putting a candle like up before I would eat. So then I like am actually like taking a minute to be able to do that. And I think that's kind of what you're speaking to. It's like really being able to just like take a minute, for yourself, basically.
Yeah, it is. It's like, to ignite yourself, first of all, you need to feel like yourself, right? When we feel so distracted and unsuccessful because we're not doing anything well and we're not centered in who we are and we haven't lit ourselves up, it's harder to do life. Life feels so much more stressful and frustrating. And versus when we even take 5 or 10 minutes, it doesn't have to take long. 5 or 10 minutes in the morning to kind of meditate, center
Mhm.
ourselves, whatever that is for you. Is it prayer? Is it meditation? Is it reflection? And then really reviewing our day. What are the 3 priorities that feel good? It's not our have to do's, right?
Mhm.
Instead, what feels really rich and good, and our 3 priorities that we could make sure we do, not 10 priorities, because as women, we tend to overcommit and then we feel like failures because we didn't do all 10.
Yeah.
So instead of setting ourselves up for failure, let's do those 3 that are most important today, and everything else is just bonus if we get there. And so really setting ourselves up to center ourselves, because then we show up in every situation more like ourselves. We show up feeling more like ourselves, but also being more of ourselves in front of other people. And one thing I love, and it might help with people that are so busy, like they're like, I don't have time for all that, right? It doesn't have to take a lot of time.
Mhm.
So I don't know if any of you listen to Brendan Burchard, but he talks about how he resets his mindset every hour. So maybe you take 30 seconds or 1 minute, literally. Y'all have 10 minutes every day. I do. I know I do. So
Mhm.
take a minute every hour and instead, like, let go. And he says, like, let go of the tension, like, close your eyes and take a moment to let go of all the tension that you've just felt over the last hour. And then reset your intention and who you want to show up as and how you want to feel.
Mhm.
Right. So,
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'd love to hear you share about your masterclass, what that's going to be like, and then just give us the info. So then, if anyone would like to
Yeah,
join,
I would love to.
yeah.
So, ladies, like I said, I'm so passionate, and let me know if there's questions because I'm get off talking and then I can't focus on the chat and talking. Sorry. So if I missed your question, just repost it because I'm a little ADD and I'm like, woo!
Yeah.
But yeah, my masterclass is called Extraordinary Power. And it literally is for us to begin to step in and walk in our own individual as women extraordinary power this year. No longer holding back, no longer playing under the radar, no longer submitting to somebody else's, the intention that they have for you. It's our time. And so extraordinary power is really a masterclass. It's going to really showcase what is it that we typically do as women and why. But then what are some really powerful ninja strategies that we can focus on, because we can't focus on everything, that we can focus on to really elevate ourselves into that space. And so it's really just to empower you to be that unapologetically bold woman. And I don't mean disrespectful, I mean just decide to be courageous together, right? We want to decide to be courageous and choose to do the hard things that feel hard, but really they're simple. We're making them hard. And so they feel scary, but just because they're out of our comfort zone, just because we haven't done them before. But when we have that community that we can do it together with,
Yeah.
it's so much more fun, right? And we can support each other and do it together. So if you want to join in, the link is going to be LUXE every day, LUXE, and that stands for Lead a Unique Extraordinary Existence Every Day. That's my brand, LUXE Every Day. So luxeeveryday.com/EP, which stands for Extraordinary Power, and that will be launching next week. I would love to have you ladies. And truly, it's just a fun experience for us to decide 2024 is going to be our year that it's not going to be perfect, but we are going to start to just do the thing, like Stacey says, right? We're going to launch into our extraordinary power together. So that's
good. And it's free, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Free. And there's also a VIP option where you'll also get some really fun bonuses if you're interested in that, where I'll do a Q&A and we can really talk through some of your own personal questions about it. But yep, for sure.
I just put it up there for you guys, the QR code. So if you snap it, you'll see it. Super cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I love, I don't even know where I heard this, but like from a book you read, a class you go to, a workshop you watch, like one idea from any of those things could change everything. So like if I, and I'm just telling you guys this just so you know, like, so some people connect with some people connect with others, you never know. And so if like whoever it is, when you get to see them, if it's resonating with you and you're like, oh yeah, that's me, oh yeah, that's me, then it's worth it to be able to like learn, because you can always learn something. And even if it's just one thing, that could like be the thing that changes everything for you. So
for sure. Yep. So I know that I've learned that, like, even if it's just that one thing that I can implement, it could change your entire life. It could just be one thought, one decision. It can change your entire life.
so good. Sorry, I'm like trying to go back to, someone asked for the link, so I was going to send it, but yeah. Oh, I see it. You guys scanned the QR code. That's awesome. All right, good. Well, excited. So sorry, what day was it again?
It starts next week. I'm going to do multiple days next week. So it'll be like an hour for a couple days in a row, just to, so that what I want to do, like I love to do activations. So we're going to talk about some really powerful things, and then you can have an activation to go home with for that night. And it also kind of breaks it up so you can have a little bit more time and space to recharge, but also to kind of center yourself in what was it that you really wanted to get out of that, and what did you get out of that, and how can you apply it? Because I think integration is so important, right? When we just move on and we have knowledge doesn't do us any good unless we do something with it.
Right.
Unless we choose to integrate it, reflect on it, and then move forward in a powerful way with it. And so I really wanted to create some activations every day so that the ladies that join could be empowered to be like, all right, I'm going to activate this part of my life today.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for doing this. And I love how we were like totally like figured this out yesterday.
We
And
did.
you and
This is for the
you're
moment, girls. So just so you know.
congratulations, first restream success. So
Yay!
and then for you guys, thanks for coming. I love how you are just always so engaged and appreciate you. And it's been amazing. And definitely feel free to join Jamie's masterclass. And like I mentioned, we have the bucket list challenge starting tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. The live is going to be at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I'm doing it with the author of My Father's List. We're actually going to be, we're doing it together. So it's going to be really fun. It'll be my first time co-hosting a challenge with her. So yeah, I'm excited to see you guys there. And what else is happening? Oh, and I mentioned right before you got on, we're going to do a Zoom at some point right after the bucket list challenge. And we'll decide on a dare that we could do just for some fun for like a week or two. So cool.
I'm in this group. Stacey let me in to join you ladies in the group. So I'll go ahead and just say hi. If you ladies have questions for me, feel free to ask. Like I'm here to serve and to join you in, life. So let me know if you need anything. Okay.
Sounds good. All right, you guys, thanks so much and do the thing.
Do the thing. Stacey, thank you.
Create it. Bye.